What is up, guys? It's Bethany from the Movie Buff Pains here today to do another video right in front of the collection here. Today I'm going to show you my comedy collection. Everything that we have categorized under comedy is going to be in this video. I'm actually going to hop behind the camera and show them to you that way so I don't have to pull them all off the shelf. But I want to say thank you for being here. If you're new to the channel, please check out our other videos. We're trying to upload something at least once a week, so thanks again for being here, and we'll go ahead and get started. First movie I'm going to show you here is 10 Years. Haven't seen this one yet. It's got quite the cast, though. And next up is 16 Wishes. Never seen this one. Picked it up at Dollar Tree probably a year or so ago. Next up is 17 Again. This is a fun little movie. That slipcover sure needs some love. But yeah, classic body switch type movie. I liked this one quite a bit when it came out. I was probably the target age for it, but yeah, this is an enjoyable one. Next one we have here is 21 and Over. Just one of your we got drunk and got into a whole bunch of shenanigans type comedy, but I do enjoy this one. Miles Teller and Skylar Astin are fun to watch. Next we have 30 Minutes or Less. Probably haven't seen this one since shortly after it came out. Don't remember much about it. Next up we have The 40-Year-Old Virgin. This is of course a Judd Apatow classic. You got Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, Steve Carell. It's an all-star cast, super funny movie. Next one is 40 Days and 40 Nights with Josh Hartnett. This one's a pretty silly movie, funny, silly concept, but I did enjoy it. Next one is 41-Year-Old Virgin Who Knocked Up Sarah Marshall and Felt Super Bad About It. One of those spoof films that likes to make fun of a bunch of movies of the same genre. I haven't seen this one yet. Usually have fun with those though. Then we have 48 Hours by Walter Hill. Just watched this one recently, enjoyed it quite a bit. Not so much comedy, but that's where I have it, so. This is one of my favorite films of all time. Definitely an underrated film. This is 50/50, directed by Jonathan Levine. I have to say, this is probably Seth Rogen's strongest performance. It's heartfelt, sad, but also just a really good film. I like this one quite a bit. Next up, we have About a Boy. I watched this one recently again. Hadn't seen it in quite some time. It's a really fun film starring Hugh Grant, and you got young Nicholas Hoult there. And then we have Absolutely Fabulous, the movie. Haven't seen this one yet. We have Accidental Love. This one's alright. Should be a lot better with the cast, but they're all just being super silly. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Classic Jim Carrey movie. Like this one quite a bit. And then its sequel, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. Definitely not as good as the first one. Then we have Action Point. Johnny Knoxville taking a bit more of a scripted turn. You know, same kind of jackass shenanigans, but this one's pretty enjoyable. And then we have Adventureland. Just watched this one again recently. Really enjoyed this film. Kind of a coming of age, finding yourself type movie, but has some really funny moments. Great cast, of course, as you can see there. Next up we have Adventures in Babysitting. Andrew and I just watched this one recently. Really enjoyed it. Classic comedy from the 80s with Elizabeth Shue. Next up we have The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Found this one at a Goodwill recently for just a couple dollars. Pretty cool find. And we have Afternoon Delight with Kathryn Hahn. Still sealed, but I have watched this movie. Finally picked it up on Blu-ray. Pretty good film. Airplane probably is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Really enjoyable. Got the lenticular slipcover. I believe this was from Best Buy. And then we have its sequel, Airplane 2. Have not seen that one yet. All is Bright. You got Paul Giamatti and Paul Rudd. Haven't seen this one, but I believe it's like a Christmas-themed dark comedy. And then we have Almost Christmas, ensemble holiday film. It's all right. And from George Lucas, you got American Graffiti. This is a great film. Kind of a coming-of-age type story. Similar to kind of the Dazed and Confused type film that came out just shortly before Star Wars. Alright, next up we've got American Pie. Classic teen comedy, really kind of jump-started the raunchy teen comedies of the early 2000s. And got American Pie 2. American Wedding, American Reunion, and then I have one of the spin-offs, American Pie, The Book of Love. We've got Frank Sinatra, Gene Kelly in Anchors Away, Anchorman, and Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. Oh, it's got a lot of really funny cameos in it. Next up, we have Anger Management with Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson. I remember seeing this one in theaters. I was probably far too young to be seeing it in theaters, and I have not seen it since, so I hardly remember anything about this film. We have The Angriest Man in Brooklyn. This is one of Robin Williams' last films. It was alright, not the best. Animal House, cool pop art, slipcover, really fun movie. We have Aquamarine. Have not seen that one. Are You Here? I remember Andrew and I picked this one up on our honeymoon. We bought a bunch of movies on our honeymoon, but we still have not watched this one yet. Army of One, The Art of Self-Defense. This is an awesome dark comedy with Jesse Eisenberg kind of doing his Jesse Eisenberg thing, but it really works in this movie. Really enjoyed this one. Then we have Art School Confidential. Haven't seen this one yet, but it is from the director of Ghost World, so looking forward to it. And then this is one of my more rare slipcovers I have in the collection. That is Arthur and Arthur 2 on the Rocks. These Warner Brothers double feature slipcovers are pretty hard to come by, so happy to have that. Have not seen either of those yet though. Next up we have the remake of Arthur with Russell Brand. Have seen this one. I saw it in theaters. Enjoyed it when I saw it. Probably haven't watched it since then though. And we have Arthur Newman with Colin Firth and Emily Blunt. We have an Austin Powers triple feature with International Man of Mystery, The Spy Who Shagged Me, and Goldmember. Always fun watches. Baby Mama with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. I've always enjoyed this one. Love watching them act together. They always seem like they're having lots of fun. The Baby Makers, just picked this one up recently. Haven't seen it yet though. Bachelor Party, an early Tom Hanks film. Really fun comedy, like this one quite a bit. And Bachelorette, which I picked up because I like a lot of the cast. This one, unfortunately, was not the greatest. Definitely disappointed with this one. Next up, we have Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa with Johnny Knoxville. If you feel like watching some dumb Jackass stuff, this one fits the bill pretty well. Then we have Bad Moms. I enjoyed this one quite a bit. When it was announced, I was like, that looks like an okay comedy, but because of the chemistry between the three leads, this one is highly enjoyable. And same could be said for its sequel, A Bad Mom's Christmas, which we throw in the grandmas into the mix and it just makes it even more fun. I think they're planning on making one about the grandmas, so that should be fun. Another Christmas comedy, Bad Santa, Billy Bob Thornton, really funny. Bad Teacher with Cameron Diaz. I know a lot of people didn't like this one, but I thought it was pretty funny. Bad Words, actually kind of a funny story with this one. When me and Andrew were dating, I remember putting this one on and then we thought of another movie we wanted to watch, like when we were like 10 minutes into this film, so we turned it off, and I don't think either of us has ever finished it since, so one of these days gotta finish watching Bad Words. And another Dollar Tree pickup, A Bag of Hammers, but I really like Jason Ritter, so looking forward to that one. Baggage Claim, Barbershop 2, and Barbershop The Next Cut. I've only seen the first film, but I enjoyed it. Barely Lethal. This is an A24 release. Super random A24 release, to be honest. It does not fit in with the rest of their catalog at all. It's more of a like action comedy teen movie, but I did enjoy it. It was fun. Basketball, one that I definitely need to check out soon. Heard great things about this one. Be Kind Rewind with Jack Black and Mos Def. I definitely think this one is underrated. Like this one quite a bit. Just a good feel-good comedy to throw on at any time. And we have Beauty Shop with Queen Latifah. Next up we have Beer Fest. Definitely didn't like this one as much as Super Troopers. Still pretty funny though. Richard Linklater film I've yet to see, and that's Bernie. The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. The Second Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. Heard good things about those films, just haven't seen them yet. Then we have Best Friends Volume 1 and 2 with Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero from The Room fame. Haven't watched this, but I'm sure it's going to be ridiculous fun. Then we have Better Living Through Chemistry. Just watched this one recently. Enjoyed it. Beverly Hills Cop 3-movie collection. Only seen the first one, but it's a super fun film with Eddie Murphy. And then we have Big, one of my favorites from my childhood. Could always throw this one on. Always wanted a giant keyboard like this one. This is the musical slipcover, but unfortunately the battery died at some point. So it doesn't still play the music, but either way, fantastic Tom Hanks film. One of his best comedies for sure. Alright, lowered the camera down a little bit so I could get a little bit of a better vantage point here. Continuing on. Big Daddy. This was one of my favorites growing up. Always put this one on. Not sure why I enjoyed it so much, but to this day it's still one of my favorite Adam Sandler comedies. And we have The Big Kahuna. This one's alright. Not one that I hear very many people talk about. We have Big Mama's House. Big Mama's House 2. And then we have Big Mama's Like Father, Like Son. You get that sticker off of there. The Big Picture, it's a pretty fun movie, not one I hear people talk about very often. The Big Sick, this is one of my absolute favorites. Saw this one at Sundance. It was really cool. We sat on the row right behind Kumail and Holly Hunter and Ray Romano. It was kind of a starstruck moment for the both of us, but really loved the film. Another one that's just heartfelt but also really funny. Some of the best laugh out loud moments that I've ever had in a dramedy type film. True story of Kumail Nanjiani and his real life wife, Emily. Just a really enjoyable film. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. Then we have Big Stone Gap. Picked this one up on Black Friday a few years ago. Haven't watched it yet. The Big Wedding. This one's okay. Definitely should be better with the all-star cast that it has. The Big Year. Billy Madison, another Adam Sandler classic, one of his best. The Birdcage, absolutely hilarious movie. Love this one. Black Nativity, another Dollar Tree pickup. Blended, definitely my least favorite of the Sandler Barrymore movies. Need to watch it again. Didn't really enjoy it very much when I saw it in theaters though. The Lockers, one of my favorite comedies of recent time. Great coming of age movie, but also you could kind of relate to the parrots as well. Just enjoy this one quite a lot. Really hilarious. And then we have Tyler Perry's Boo and Boo 2. And these are exactly what you expect them to be, Medea Halloween movies. They're not good, but they are funny, enjoyable. Then we have Book Club. I thought this one was a little bit underrated. Pretty enjoyable. Fun to see these actresses together. And if you've been following me on Instagram for a while, you know this is one of my all-time favorite films, Booksmart, directed by Olivia Wilde. Hilarious movie, one of the best and most realistic movies I've seen about friendship and finding yourself and growing up, and it's just applicable whether you are at this age or whether you're older, because you're always trying to figure yourself out, right? So yeah, check this movie out if you haven't yet. One of the best comedies, one of the best coming-of-age films of all time. Alright, next up we have The Boss with Melissa McCarthy. I always enjoy her films, whether they're great or whether they're just okay. She's just one of my favorite actresses, but this one, probably one of her more okay movies, not the best. Bowfinger, really funny movie with Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy, like this one a lot. The Brand New Testament, hilarious movie, not one that I hear people talk about very often. Really funny French movie, kind of a different take on religious comedy. Really enjoyed this one. The Brass Teapot, pretty fun film. Easily one of my favorite comedies of all time, and this is Bridesmaids. Whenever I have a bad day or I just need a good laugh, I could throw this one on and laugh like it's the first time I'm watching it. Absolutely love this film. Brief Interviews with Hideous Men. This is based on a book by David Foster Wallace, and it's directed by John Krasinski. Haven't seen this one yet, though. Another really underrated film, Brigsby Bear. Love this movie. It's about Kyle Mooney. He escapes from kind of a cult upbringing and his way of dealing with that. Really funny. Definitely underrated. Definitely recommend it. And we have Bring It On, Fight to the Finish. Still don't own the original Bring It On. Definitely need to get that one. And Bring It On Worldwide Cheer Smack. I think I got both of these at Dollar Tree. The Bronze, another movie that I find to be quite enjoyable. Really funny movie. Pretty raunchy. Has some really memorable scenes though. I like this one. The Brothers Grimsby, another really raunchy movie. Don't really find it that funny, but I might throw it on again one day. We'll see. Bruce Almighty. Another Sacha Baron Cohen film, Bruno. This one's alright. The Bucket List. Bulletproof, one I've been meaning to watch for a while. Definitely need to. Burn After Reading, a great Coen Brothers film. Really funny, really outrageous. Burnt. This one was alright. Pretty good performance from Bradley Cooper. Caddyshack, one I've sadly not seen yet. Picked it up at a pawn shop for $3.99 apparently. But yeah, definitely need to watch this. The Cannonball Run. Can't Hardly Wait. This is the 20-year anniversary edition. Classic teen comedy. Love this film. Carnage. This one's based on a play, and it plays out like that quite a bit, but I enjoy this one. Pretty underrated. Great performances from all four of the leads. Casa de Mi Padre. Cavemen. Enjoyed this one. Cedar Rapids. And Ceremony. The Change Up. Cheap Thrills. Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. Chef, which this is one of Andrew's all-time favorites. I really enjoy this one as well. Great feel-good movie to throw on at any time. Directed by Jon Favreau. Seems like a really personal film for him. It's got a great soundtrack, delicious looking food. Definitely recommend this one. Chips, which I think Andrew and I both enjoyed this one more than most people did. You have A Christmas Story 2, which of course we have A Christmas Story. It's just on Steelbook, so that's where that one is. Never seen the sequel. Chronically Metropolitan. City Island. Clerks, classic from Kevin Smith. Enjoy this film quite a bit. And then we have Clerks 2 and Zack and Miri Make a Porno. I have not seen Clerks 2 yet, but Zack and Miri is very funny. Click, enjoyable Adam Sandler film. Clue, this is one that Andrew finally made me watch recently. It's always been one of his favorites, but I like this one a lot. This is a lot of fun. And then we have Crocodile Dundee 1 and 2. The Cobbler. Coming to America, one of my all-time favorite comedies. Probably one of Eddie Murphy's best. The Con is On. Cook-Off. Clueless, another one of my favorites. Love this movie. Crystal Fairy and the Magical Cactus. Still need to watch this one. Heard really good things about it. Cuban Fury. Cyrus. I think this is a pretty underrated film. Pretty funny movie with John C. Reilly, Marissa Tomei, Jonah Hill. The D Train. Enjoyed this one. Daddy's Home. Pretty funny movie. Damsels in Distress. Enjoyed this one a lot. I'll watch pretty much anything with Greta Gerwig, but this is a great one. And then Dan in Real Life. One of the more serious performances from Steve Carell. Dance Flick. Another spoof film. Danny Collins, underrated Al Pacino performance like this one. Dark Shadows. Date Night, another lenticular slipcover. Need to get that sticker off of there. Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. I love pretty much everything with Steve Martin. Dear White People, great film. Delivery Man. Andrew and I just watched this one recently. I think we both enjoyed it. Underrated little heartfelt film with Vince Vaughn. One of my all-time favorites, The Devil Wears Prada. Meryl Streep is just terrifying in this movie. Love this one. Another Sacha Baron Cohen, The Dictator. Haven't seen this one yet. The Dilemma. comedy from Ron Howard. Dinner for Schmucks. Dirty Grandpa, which I know a lot of people hated. I thought it was pretty funny, pretty enjoyable. The Disaster Artist, fantastic movie about the making of The Room. Great performance from James Franco. Definitely recommend this one. Disorganized Crime. Disaster movie. As you can see, these spoof films are kind of my guilty pleasure, if you will. The Dodeca Pentathlon. Picked this one up at Dollar Tree recently. It's a Duplass Brothers film though, so I'm looking forward to it. Dogma, another great Kevin Smith film. Don John, one of my favorites with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Really great directorial debut from him. Don Verdine, this is directed by Jared Hess, who did Napoleon Dynamite. I really do enjoy his films. They're silly and they're just fun. Don't Be a Menace, hilarious movie. Dope, one of the most underrated films of recent time. Really enjoyed this one. Dr. Dolittle with Eddie Murphy. The Dream Team, funny movie. Drillbit Taylor, really underrated, love this one. And Joe Swanberg's Drinking Buddies, really enjoy all of his films. This one is no exception. Drumline. Dude, Where's My Car? Due Date, pretty funny comedy. The Duff, love this one. In case you guys hadn't figured it out yet, I love coming of age comedies. But yeah, Mae Whitman, super awesome in this movie. Dumb and Dumber 2, which I believe we have Dumb and Dumber in like a triple pack somewhere in here. Dutch, classic movie, really funny. You got Ed O'Neill and Ethan Randall. Great one to throw on at Thanksgiving. Eagle vs. Shark. This is one of Taika Waititi's early films. If you enjoy his newer stuff, I bet you will enjoy some of his older quirky comedies. And this one is no exception. Easy A, love this one. Great performance from Emma Stone. Really funny movie, but also has a great message. Ed TV, another Ron Howard comedy. The Edge of 17, which of course I love, one of the best coming-of-age comedies I've seen in recent time. Haley Steinfeld is great, love this one. And speaking of coming-of-age films, 8th Grade, directed by Bo Burnham, starring Elsie Fisher. This one is fantastic. We kind of get a look at a younger age that we don't see as often in coming-of-age films, and it's just absolutely great. Even if you were never an 8th grade girl, I'm sure you can find something to relate to in this film. Elvis and Nixon, kind of an underrated film. Enjoyed this one. Empire Records, classic right here. Employee of the Month, an okay comedy, enjoyable to throw on every once in a while. Do like this slipcover though. Entourage the movie. An Evening with Beverly Luff Lynn. Haven't watched this one yet, but looking forward to, based on the cast. Another one of my favorites, Everybody Wants Some, from Richard Linklater. This is like the spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused. It's about college and just super awesome. Love this movie. Everything Must Go. Excess Baggage. This is a Mill Creek VHS slipcover release. Extract. Pretty underrated comedy, pretty fun, from Mike Judge. Fanboys, I've never seen this one. I know Andrew enjoys it quite a bit though. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Classic comedy right there. Father Figures. Father of the Bride and Father of the Bride Part 2. Just watched both of these for the first time recently. I can't believe it took me so long to watch them. They're great. Love these. And another one of my favorites of all time, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. What can I say about this film that hasn't been said? This is a fantastic comedy. Next up is 50 Shades of Black. Another ridiculous spoof film. Really, probably one of the worst ones. Fighting with My Family. This one really surprised me when it came out. Just a great heartfelt comedy. Enjoyed this one. Fired Up. First Sunday, Fist Fight, Fletch, classic with Chevy Chase, Flipped, For a Good Time Call. I think this is a pretty underrated comedy. Enjoyed this one. Four Christmases. This is one I try to watch every holiday season. Really enjoy this one. Saw it in theaters. Loved it. Fun comedy. Frankie Go Boom. Friday. Absolute classic. Fried Green Tomatoes. Friends with Benefits. This one came out the same year as No Strings Attached. Kind of the same type plot, but I actually enjoy both films quite a bit. Great chemistry between Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis. Full Frontal with Julia Roberts. Fun Mom Dinner. Fun Size, which is a Nickelodeon movie with Victoria Justice, but this one is really funny. Funny People. Gambit. Game Night, one of my favorite recent comedies. Hilarious movie with Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams. Takes quite a few turns you wouldn't expect. Really fun. General Education. Gentlemen Broncos. Another one from Jared Hess. Enjoyed this one. Really fun. Get a Job. This one's worth watching just for the cast alone. Get Hard. Get Him to the Greek. And Get Smart. The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. Really fun one with Don Knotts. Ghost Team 1. Girl Most Likely. The Girl Next Door. Girls Trip. Glee the Concert. Pretty sure I picked this one up at the dollar store. A Glimpse Inside the Mind of Charles Swan III. This is an early A24 release. Just picked it up for that collection. Haven't seen it yet. It's directed by Roman Coppola. Go. Really underrated movie. Love this one. Goats. Another underrated film. Definitely recommend checking this one out. Going in Style, directed by Zach Braff. I really enjoy all of his films. Obviously, especially Garden State, but this one's enjoyable in its own way. Good Boys, really funny movie to come out of last year. I kind of seen middle schoolers being totally raunchy and silly, but this one has a lot of heart too. Enjoyed this one. Goon. And Goon, Last of the Enforcers. Grandma, super underrated comedy. Lily Tomlin is fantastic in this movie. Obviously, she was nominated for the Golden Globe for this. Well deserved. The Great Buck Howard. The Great Outdoors, really fun comedy with Dan Aykroyd and John Candy. Greenberg, an underrated Noah Baumbach film. Enjoy this one. Gringo, this one was alright. Grosse Point Blank, enjoyable one with Minnie Driver and John Cusack. Grown Ups, definitely don't enjoy this one as much as most people do. A lot of really funny guys together in a not really funny movie. And I've never seen this one, but Grown Ups 2. Grudge Match, this one is pretty enjoyable. Seeing De Niro and Stallone together in a movie. The Guilt Trip. Gulliver's Travels. And The Gun and Betty Lou's Handbag. Hail Caesar, really underrated Coen Brothers film. It wasn't very well received when it came out, but Andrew and I both enjoyed this one quite a bit. Hairspray, this is the one by John Waters. Haven't seen this one yet. Looking forward to it. And Hairspray, the remake. I did see this one. As far as musicals go, I don't like them very often, but I did enjoy this one. That's one Andrew enjoys quite a bit as well. Happy Thank You More Please. Another underrated film that I don't hear very many people talk about. Stars Josh Radnor from How I Met Your Mother. Enjoyed this one. Happy Gilmore. Another Adam Sandler classic, one of his best. The Happy Time Murders. Haven't seen this one yet. Heard mostly bad things, but we'll check it out at some point. Hard Bodies. Another Mill Creek VHS cover.
Me and Andrew watched this one shortly after we picked it up. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Fun, 80s sex comedy. Harold and Kumar goes to White Castle. Of course, a really funny movie. And then we also have Harold and Kumar escape from Guantanamo Bay. And a very Harold and Kumar Christmas. Definitely need to clean up that slipcover, but really fun Christmas comedy. James Stewart in Harvey. A Haunted House. And as far as spoof films go, me and Andrew enjoy this one quite a lot. It's really stupid, but it's really funny. And this one's even dumber than the first one. That is A Haunted House 2, but we also enjoyed this one. If you just want to turn your brain off for a little while, throw on one of those spoof films and that will do the trick. The Heat with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy. I think I enjoy this one more than most. Really funny movie. Hello, my name is Doris. Love this film. Sally Field is adorable in this movie. Just really enjoy this one. Definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it before. Henry Poole is here. Here Comes the Boom. This one is okay. High Road. Hit and Run. Holmes and Watson, which I've heard nothing but terrible things about. I haven't watched it yet. We'll see how it is. Holy Man. Me and Andrew just watched this one. Enjoyable Eddie Murphy film. Home Sweet Hell, dark comedy with Katherine Heigl and Patrick Wilson. Hope Springs. This is actually one of the few Blu-rays that I accidentally bought twice. I can count on one hand how many times I've done that, which is pretty impressive for our collection. Horrible Bosses 2. We have the first one in a triple pack somewhere in here. Both really fun movies though. And Hot Pursuit. This one's alright. Hot Rod, one of my favorite comedies. Hilarious movie with Andy Samberg. Lots of great one-liners in this one. Hot Tub Time Machine, fun film. Hot Tub Time Machine 2, haven't watched this one yet. The House, this one was pretty funny. The House Bunny, funny one with Anna Faris, gotta love her. How to Be a Latin Lover, this one was pretty funny for what it was. How to Be Single, I think this is a really underrated comedy. Great cast, funny film, enjoy this one. A24 film, How to Talk to Girls at Parties, haven't seen this one yet. Looks pretty weird. The 100-Foot Journey. Hunt for the Wilder People, one of my absolute favorites. This one's from Taika Waititi. Just a really hilarious movie. The child actor in this film, he is hilarious, and you also have Sam Neill. Great seeing him taking a little bit of a different role here. Definitely recommend this one. The Hustle, this is a modern remake of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Definitely just stick with Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Not the greatest. I Feel Pretty. I know not very many people like Amy Schumer. I, however, love her. And this is a cute film. A great message about body positivity, like this one. Easily one of my favorite comedies of all time. That is I Love You Man. Hilarious movie. Another one with great one-liners. Always quoting this one with Andrew. Love this film. I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. Haven't seen this one in a while. I do remember enjoying it though. I, Tonya, fantastic performance from Margot Robbie and especially Allison Janney. She won a well-deserved Oscar for that role. Great movie. Love that one. Ideal Home. Haven't seen this one yet. Identity Thief. I enjoy this one for what it is. It's funny. From Brett Haley, I'll See You in My Dreams. Really enjoy this film. Highly underrated. Great performance from Blythe Danner. Also gotta love Sam Elliott. Enjoy this one. Another favorite of mine, In a World, written, directed, and starring Lake Bell, who I absolutely love. This movie is just creative, funny, witty, everything. Love this film. In the Loop. The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. The Informant, enjoyable movie. Ingrid Goes West. Fantastic film, great social commentary on what social media could do to someone. Great performance from Aubrey Plaza. Love this film. Also has a great soundtrack that I love. Instant Family. Going into this one, I didn't expect a lot, but I came out pleasantly surprised. Really cute film. And Instructions Not Included. Haven't seen this one quite yet. Alright, so Andrew's home from work now, and he's going to help me out because I'm killing my arm holding movies up. Next up, I have The Intern. This one's directed by Nancy Meyers. I really like this film. It's pretty underrated. Really cute performances from Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway. Next up, we have The Internship. Pretty funny movie with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. Next up, this is a triple set that has The Internship, The Watch, and Dodgeball in it. I'm trying to get these all separately because I don't really like triple sets, but I only have The Internship separately so far. Next up, we have The Interview, hilarious movie with James Franco and Seth Rogen. The Invention of Lying. The Island. This is one I found at Goodwill recently for just a couple bucks. Pretty cool. Isn't It Romantic? This is a good, feel-good movie that you can throw on. Next we have Jack and Jill, which is quite possibly Adam Sandler's worst movie and probably one of the worst movies, period.
Yeah.
And then we have Jackass 3. I really need to put the other two on Blu-ray.
Definitely.
Then we have Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and Jay and Silent Bob The Reboot. The Jerk with Steve Martin. Hilarious Steve Martin film.
Classic.
And we have Jexy with Adam Devine. I think a lot of people did not like this one, but I think Andrew and I enjoyed it more than most people did. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was.
Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt 2. Joe Somebody. John Tucker Must Die. I absolutely love this movie. Johnny English Strikes Again. Still need to pick up the other two films.
Yeah.
Joshy. Underrated movie like this one. Joyful Noise, Julie and Julia, Juliet Naked, which we saw this one at Sundance a couple years ago. We both absolutely loved it. It's a hilarious movie.
Great movie.
Yeah. Jury Duty, Just Before I Go, and Just Getting Started. Next up we have Just Go With It, Keanu, really funny movie. Kevin Hart, I'm a Grown Little Man. Kevin Hart, Let Me Explain. Kevin Hart, What Now? Kill Your Friends. Killers, The Kings of Summer. I think this is a really underrated film. Great coming of age story. Knocked Up, classic Judd Apatow comedy. Lady Bird, another one that I absolutely love, directed by Greta Gerwig.
Really good movie.
Laggies, a great film directed by Lynn Shelton, who unfortunately recently passed away. Definitely going to miss her. She made some great films. Land Ho, Land of the Lost. Larry Crown. Pretty underrated movie.
Yeah.
Las Vegas. Kind of fun seeing these older actors let loose a little bit.
Yeah, definitely a good change from all the young guys going to Vegas.
Mm-hmm. The Last Word. Late Night. Absolutely love this film with Emma Thompson and Mindy Kaling. This is the German Blu-ray, which unfortunately doesn't have a US release quite yet. A League of Their Own. Classic comedy with Tom Hanks and Gina Davis. Leatherheads. The Legend of Billie Jean. Let's Be Cops, really funny movie. Liar Liar. Life. Life After Beth, an A24 film like this one. And Life of Crime. Life Happens. Life of the Party, one of the better recent Melissa McCarthy films.
Definitely.
Like a Boss. This one is literally right before Aaron. This is a German release since it's not available on Blu-ray in America. Pretty funny movie. Little Boy, A Little Help, The Little Hours, really funny movie. We saw this one at Sundance.
Loved this one.
Little Miss Sunshine, absolutely love this one. Little Shop of Horrors, classic. Lola Versus, The Long Dumb Road, Long Shot, one of my absolute favorite films from last year. Great chemistry between Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron, which is pretty unexpected.
Way better than I think we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that movie's awesome. Love the Coopers, underrated holiday film. MacGruber, A Medea Christmas, A Medea Family Funeral, Medea Gets a Job, the play, Medea Goes to Jail, Medea on the Run, the play, Medea's Big Happy Family, Medea's Witness Protection, I don't think I realized we had this many Medea movies.
That's the last one, I think, for now.
Yeah. Maggie's Plan, criminally underrated film. Absolutely love this one.
Yeah, it was really good.
Major Pain. And Kevin Smith's Mallrats. The Man Who Knew Too Little. Management. Marley and Me. The Mask. Masterminds, another Jared Hess film that we enjoy. Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, another one of my all-time favorite movies. Love this one. Mean Girls, another one of my all-time favorites. In case you couldn't have guessed with Gretchen back there. Meatballs, Meet Dave, Meet the Browns, Meet the Parents, the whole Fokker collection. I actually really enjoy all three of these movies. Little Fokker's definitely not as much, but the first two are great.
Definitely. I like all three of them as well.
Meet the Spartans, The Men Who Stare at Goats, Mental, A Merry Friggin' Christmas, another one of Robin Williams' last films, Middle School, A Million Ways to Die in the West, which is a pretty funny movie, Miss Congeniality and Miss Congeniality 2, Armed and Fabulous, Miss March, got this one at Dollar Tree, watched it recently, it was pretty funny, Miss You Already, underrated film, Mistress America, Noah Baumbach movie that I love, probably one of his more underrated films. Don't hear very many people talk about that one.
Yeah, it's a really good one. I enjoy that one a lot.
Mom's Night Out, The Money Pit, hilarious movie that you still need to watch, Andrew.
I do. I still need to catch up on a lot of Tom Hanks's early stuff.
Yeah. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which I know is one of Andrew's favorites.
Yes, it is. Definitely love this movie to bits.
Yeah, it's funny. Monty Python stuff is growing on me. Speaking of which, we have Life of Brian, another funny one.
I still like Holy Grail a little better, but Life of Brian is a pretty close second, honestly.
And another Monty Python film, The Meaning of Life.
This is the one I actually haven't watched yet. I really need to.
Yeah. Moonwalkers, Morris from America, really underrated A24 film. Love this one.
Yeah, this was way better than I expected it to be.
Mordecai, Mother's Day, which admittedly is a pretty terrible ensemble movie. Motherhood. Speaking of terrible ensemble movies, is movie 43, which I've actually never watched, but I feel like I need to because I've heard it is an absolute dumpster fire.
Seriously, that's definitely gonna be on our watch list, but I'm scared.
Me too. I've seen clips from it and it looks horrendous. Mr. Deeds, pretty good Adam Sandler flick.
Definitely.
Mr. Woodcock, Mrs. Doubtfire, absolute classic.
Probably one of his best roles, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Multiplicity, just recently picked that one up. I need to watch it soon. My Best Friend's Girl, My Cousin Vinny, really funny movie. And this one's a triple pack with Nacho Libre, School of Rock, and Tropic Thunder, which I like. School of Rock and Tropic Thunder. I absolutely cannot stand Nacho Libre, despite liking Jared Hess's other films. And we have The Naked Gun. And speaking of Jared Hess, his best movie, Napoleon Dynamite, which this is a fun one. It's all fuzzy. Neighbors. And then we have the new movie, Neighbors, one of my favorite recent comedies. I love this movie, and it doesn't hurt that Dave Franco has lots of screen time. And Neighbors 2, not as good as the first one, but still enjoyable. The Nice Guys, which I would say is underrated, but I feel like everybody I ever talk to says that it's underrated, so is it really underrated? I don't know.
That's hard to say.
Either way, it's an awesome movie.
It is
Great buddy cop film with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. The Night Before, awesome Christmas comedy.
Yeah, I love that one.
Nobody's Fool, this one was alright.
Yeah.
Norbit, I feel like I've seen this once, but I can't really remember anything about it. Not Suitable for Children. Nothing in Common. Nothing Like the Holidays. The Original Nutty Professor with Jerry Lewis.
Really funny movie.
And the Eddie Murphy remake, The Nutty Professor. Observe and Report. Office Christmas Party. Office Space. Classic comedy. On the Riviera. One for the Money. Opportunity Knocks. The Oranges. Ordinary World. Still need to watch this one. The Other Guys. The Other Woman. Love this one. I think Leslie Mann is pretty much always hilarious.
Yes.
Our Brand is Crisis. Our Idiot Brother. Paper Man. Paper Towns. Parenthood. Really funny movie with Steve Martin. Patch Adams. Patty Cakes. Really underrated movie. Definitely recommend this one. Paul. Paul Blart Mall Cop. Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Peace, Love, and Misunderstanding. Peep World. Peoples. People Like Us. Permanent. The Pickle Recipe. Ping Pong Summer. The Pink Panther. And the Pink Panther 2. Pirate Radio. Pixels. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. One of our absolute favorites.
Definitely a must-watch every Thanksgiving.
Those aren't pillows.
Palms. Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping. Porky's. Postcards from the Edge. Practical Magic and the Witches of Eastwick. Pride. Love this one.
That was a really good one.
Problem Child. Project X.
I like that one a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Quartet. Raising Arizona. Rapture Palooza. Reality Bites. The Replacements. End Results. With my favorite Colby Smulders. The Resurrection of Gavin Stone. Revenge of the Nerds. Ricky and the Flash. Ride Along. Ride Along 2. Robot and Frank. Really cute movie. Rock of Ages.
I really enjoy this one. I like 80s music a lot, so a musical that's just entirely 80s music is fun.
Rock the Casbah. Just hard not to sing. The Rocker. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. Absolute classic.
Love Tim Curry in that one.
Role Models. Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. Just recently watched this one for the first time. Really funny movie. Run, Fat Boy, Run. RV. I remember loving this movie when I was a kid.
Same.
Scary Movie 1, 2, and 3. I think we always enjoy throwing these ones on. Scary Movie 4. And Scary Movie 5, which is terrible. Scrooged. The Lenticular Slip. Search Party. Second Act. The Serious Man. Great movie. And Serious Moonlight. Sex and the City, the movie. And Sex and the City 2. Sex Drive, which is a pretty funny movie, but I hunted for this slipcover for the longest time and finally found it on eBay. Sex Tape, which this one got a lot of hate when it came out, but I think we both enjoyed it a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Shakes the Clown. Shallow Hal. I haven't seen this one in a long time, but I remember really enjoying it. She's Funny That Way. Sideways, great film. Silver Streak. Sing Street, I absolutely love this movie.
Great film.
Singing in the Rain, one of my favorite musicals.
And one of my favorite musicals, too.
Then we have Sister Act and Sister Act 2. Sisters, gotta love Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
Always good together.
Yeah, that's a funny one. The Sitter. Skip Trace. Sleepwalk with Me. This is one of Mike Birbiglia's based on true life stories that he tells. One of my favorite comedians. Smart People. Smokey and the Bandit, which I still haven't seen. Definitely need to watch that soon.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
So I Married an Axe Murderer. Sorry to Bother You. This is a great movie. Social commentary that's pretty trippy. Spring Breakdown. Spy. Absolutely hilarious movie from Paul Feig.
Can't help but laugh, like, through that whole thing.
Yeah, Jason Statham is hilarious. The Spy Next Door. This is a double set that has The Squid and the Whale and Running with Scissors. I just have this one for Running with Scissors, though, because I have Squid and the Whale on Criterion. St. Vincent, a really underrated film.
Bill Murray was really good in this one.
Stay Tuned. Straight A's. And Strange Brew. Stranger Than Fiction. Stripes. Struck by Lightning. Submarine, one of my absolute favorite films. Don't hear enough people talk about this one. Definitely check it out if you haven't yet. Next up we have the Sun, Sand, and Sweat 4-movie collection. This has Private Resort, Perfect, which me and Andrew love more than we should probably love that movie. Hard Bodies, and Spring Break. Sunshine Cleaning. I know I've said it a million times in this video, but this movie is super underrated. I really mean it with this one. Amy Adams and Emily Blunt are great in this movie. Great film. Super Troopers, hilarious comedy.
Love this one.
Super Troopers 2, not nearly as funny as the first one, but still pretty enjoyable.
I definitely like them trying to speak French.
Oh yeah, that part's pretty funny. Superhero movie, Support the Girls, great movie. Surviving Christmas, Swing Vote, Swiss Army Man, another one that we saw at Sundance and absolutely loved. It's totally wacky and crazy, tons of fun.
Yeah.
Sympathy for Delicious, Tag, Take Me Home Tonight, another one that's hard not to sing. Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, Tammy, Team America, World Police, Terry, Thank God It's Friday, That Thing You Do, and I'll let you talk about this one.
This is probably one of my favorite films of all time. I've watched it since I was a little kid. Tom Hanks' directorial debut. He also wrote it. It is just such a fun film, and I can't help but rewatch it over and over again.
I enjoy it too, for what it's worth. There's Something About Mary, classic comedy. They Came Together, really funny satire film. Think Like a Man, This Christmas, another ensemble holiday film. This Is 40, which I actually probably enjoy almost as much as Knocked Up, mostly because I love Leslie Mann. This Is the End, This Means War, The Three Stooges, The To-Do List, really funny movie. Tommy Boy, one that I definitely need to watch soon. Top 5, Tower Heist, Trading Places, really funny movie.
Classic.
Trainwreck, which, like I said earlier, I think I like Amy Schumer more than most. This is a really fun, cute movie. And Tyler Perry's Daddy's Little Girls. Uncle Buck, another great one with John Candy. Unexpected. Unfinished Business, which is okay, but it has Dave Franco in it, so of course I love it. Vacation, absolute classic film, one of my family's favorites to watch growing up. European Vacation, not as good, but still enjoyable. And Vegas Vacation, which I actually really like. And we also have the remake, which was okay.
You can't deny Chris Hemsworth's part in that.
Yeah, pretty hilarious bit part.
Probably one of the best parts.
Vampires Suck, Varsity Blues, A Very Sordid Wedding, another Dollar Tree pickup. Vibes, Virgin Territory, you can get that sticker off of there. Visioneers, and The Whackness, really underrated flick, like this one a lot. Waiting, Walk Hard, The Dewey Cox Story, Walk of Shame, which is probably another one that me and Andrew enjoy more than we should.
Yeah.
Wanderlust, War on Everyone, The Waterboy, another one of Adam Sandler's best. Wayne's World 1 and 2, We Love You, Sally Carmichael, We'll Never Have Paris, We're the Millers, one of our favorites. Really love this movie. And this one has Wedding Crashers, Horrible Bosses, Hall Pass, and Dumb and Dumber. The Wedding Ringer, The Weekend, Weekend at Bernie's, classic comedy. Another classic, Wet Hot American Summer, love this movie. What Men Want, What Planet Are You From, by Mike Nichols. What We Did on Our Holiday, a UK release. Whatever Works, While We're Young, I absolutely love this Noah Baumbach film.
This is such a fun one.
Yeah. White Men Can't Jump, which we recently watched for the first time, and I think we both really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Who's Harry Crumb? Why Stop Now? And Wiener Dog, another one that we saw at Sundance. Wild Hogs. And we are on to the last section. This is a Will Ferrell 4-film set. It has The Campaign, Old School, Blades of Glory, and Semi-Pro. Wilson, yet another one that we saw at Sundance. Win-Win, The Women, World's Greatest Dad, Year One, which I probably haven't seen since I saw it at the theater. Yes Man, Yoga Hosers, You Again, You, Me, and Dupree, Young Adult, great movie from Jason Reitman with Charlize Theron. Young Frankenstein, the Mel Brooks classic.
Probably one of our favorite Mel Brooks.
Mm-hmm. Your Highness, Youth in Revolt, Zookeeper, and Zoolander number 2. We have the first Zoolander on Steelbook. So that about wraps up the comedy collection. Again, let me know which genre you guys want to see us do next. The other genres we have in our collection are action adventure, animation family, crime thriller, drama, horror, romance, and sci-fi fantasy. So let us know which one you guys would like to see next, and we'll be happy to do it. Thanks for watching.